It is important to buy the right stock, but it is equally important to know when to sell, because that actually determines how successful you will be in your stock investing journey. Let's find out in this video. Hi investors, my name is Anupam Roongta and welcome to the video. Now please watch this video till the end because it is going to transform the way you look at your stocks in your portfolio. Now when it comes to selling a stock, the typical notion which people have is, you get some profit, you sell it, there is some bad news, stock goes down, you sell it. These are the typical actions which most of the retail investors do, and that leads to unfavorable results, or you don't make as much profit as you would have made in that company. So even though you buy the right stock, you buy the right company, but because of the wrong decision on selling, you end up losing money or you end up making substandard returns. Now, before talking about when to sell, let's look at when not to sell. Let me give you some examples. What typically people do? Number one, the stock goes up by X percentage, let's say 15, 20, 25%, sell it, book profit. This is a reason not to sell. Don't sell your stock because of this reason, because then you're just focusing on the price. You're not looking at the fundamentals of the company, right? Number two reason, the stock appreciates. Let's say you invested 100 rupees, it goes up to, let's say, 130 rupees. Let's sell stocks worth 100 rupees so that my principal is free, and now only 30 rupees is there, which is free money. Now wherever it goes, I won't bother. Yeah, that's another typical approach. Now, you cannot do this in property. Think about it. And that's why people have created wealth in property, because they don't have that option there. So they end up keeping that money for very long, keeping that asset for very long, and it's not that liquid also. You can't just press a sell button and sell your property. So that is like a blessing in disguise a lot of times, right? But don't do this in stock, that sell the principal amount, because that again, you are just fearful of the stock price, maybe because you have not done your research when you bought it at the first place, right? Third one, when a stock appreciates to a certain level, keep a stop loss target so that I do not lose the profits which I have already made. For example, I invested the stock at 100 rupees, it became, let's say, 140 rupees, and I now put a stop loss target of 140. If it is going up above 140, that's fine, I may keep it for some time, but the moment it goes below 140, or let's say 130 is the stop loss target, then I will sell it. Why? Because I don't want to lose that 30 rupees of profit which I have made. Again, you're focusing on the price. The more you focus on the price, the more are the chances that you will end up taking the wrong decision. Don't take a decision based on the price, because that does not tell you anything about the company's fundamentals, because a stock price can go from X to 2X without any significant change in the fundamentals of the company. At the same time, a stock price can go from X to half X without any change in the fundamentals of the company. That's how crazy stock market is. And that's why, majority of people maybe do not understand it, they don't get it, and that's why they don't create that wealth, which only maybe handful of very small percentage is able to do that, right? The fourth reason to sell is I got a better opportunity. Now again, this might be a little counterintuitive, like, if I've got a better opportunity, why not sell it? But the point is, your judgment that this is a good stock is still there. This company is not bad which you are holding. Just that you feel that the next company or the other company you have identified is much better. It will give you much better returns. This is again like speculative and jumping from the one stock to the other in the hope of getting more returns. What I would recommend is rather put fresh money into the new company rather than selling this company altogether. Or let's say you have a set of 10 stocks and you want to buy a new stock and you don't have fresh capital, sell 10% of all the stocks and then buy that new stock. You have to have a complete portfolio, because you don't know which stock will do well, which will not. What if you end up selling a good stock and buy that new stock in the hope of making high returns, but you end up making low returns, right? So I'll rather recommend to spread your investments in a way that you either take out in a equal proportion, or maybe put the fresh money in the new stock rather than selling the one which you know it's fundamentally sound. What's the point of selling it just in the chase of getting higher returns? Yeah. Now, all these 4 points I told you right now, think about it. Is this owner mindset? What is owner mindset? Is this the way any owner will think? Because when you're buying stocks, you're actually buying businesses. You are becoming a co-owner of the company. But this is not the way a owner thinks and takes actions in any business. right? Example, Mukesh Ambani. What do you think he does every day in the office? He goes to the conference room, all the senior management is sitting, a big screen is there in front of them, they open, let's say, money control, they look at the price of Reliance and they open their mobile app and start buying, selling. Of course not, right? They don't do that, looking at price is going up, let's sell, price is going down, let's buy more. They don't do that. Why? Because they have owner mindset. At least Mukesh Ambani has got owner mindset, right? They rather focus on how to build the business further, right? Forget about him. You might say, I am not Mukesh Ambani. Fine. Look at your own house. You bought this house at 50 lakh rupees. Today it is worth 80 lakhs or 1 crores. Do you say, let me sell this 1 crore house and I'll go back to some outskirts house, some place, far away, which is again worth 50 lakhs today and I'll make this 50 lakhs profit? No, you don't do that. Rather, you might increase your standard of living and maybe from 1 crore house, you will go to 1.5 as your, income increases. So this is the owner mindset. That's why you don't do this buying and selling. Yeah. So there's a very interesting quote by Warren Buffett. He says, if you don't plan to hold a stock for 10 years, don't even buy it for 10 minutes. Yeah, doesn't make sense. I mean, it doesn't make sense to do that buying and selling. He's like totally, against what typically people do in terms of trading and frequently buying and selling. It doesn't help. The bottom line of these points which I've told you so far is selling decision should never be based on the stock price. Now, coming to when to sell. This was when not to sell. Now, when it comes to when to sell, one very obvious reason to sell is when any financial goal arrives. I mean, why are you investing the money? Ultimately, you want to use this money, right? You want to spend this money maybe on your child's education or their marriage or maybe your retirement, maybe buying that car or house or whatever it is. So when that arrives, you definitely sell it. But if you're investing in the equity market, be it through equity mutual funds or through direct stocks, you should invest for at least 5 years. Because when you do that, even after 5 years or 6 years, if the market tanks, your returns will be more than inflation returns, right? So that's why that's another reason why long-term investing suggestion typically comes in, right? So one reason is, of course, when you have a financial goal to be met. The second reason is, when you bought the stock, there must be some conditions, some fundamental strong points based on which you bought that stock. Now, let's say some of those points are not meeting right now, maybe because some change in the company's structural changes or some management change or maybe some competition, some new product or some government regulation, because of which the company is not looking that fundamentally sound now as it was when you bought the company. So that's one fundamental reason to sell a stock. This is nothing to do with price. This is to do with the fundamentals. The price still might be going up, but the moment you realize this is like the limit where, the fundamentals might not be as strong as you want it to be, please sell. Another reason to sell, there is some new development in the company or the industry or, in the business environment. When that is happening, which is unfavorable right now for the company, look at the reason. What exactly is the reason, and is it temporary or is it long lasting? Is it something which will just come and go, which keeps happening, it's out of control of the company, or it is something which is fundamentally impacting the company's long-lasting performance or their growth in the future? Based on that, take your call. Again, it has nothing to do with the price. It has to do with what is happening in the business of the company, right? So if because of, let's say, raw material price increase, the profits or revenue of the company is getting impacted, it might be a temporary thing, right? Or maybe company increased their marketing budget, right? Or maybe they did some expansion, because of which for that quarter, for that year, or maybe few quarters, the profits and or revenues have gone down or the margins have gone down. Look at that reason. That reason is temporary. Maybe that reason is helping them to grow further in the long run. So that should be a reason to buy more rather than selling, right? So that's another reason to look at while you're taking a decision of selling a stock. If it is long lasting, then definitely sell. And the last and the most difficult one is the day you realize that your initial thesis or the reason to buy this company was wrong. Now, why am I saying this is difficult? Because this is like accepting your mistake. Now, typically what happens, even when someone realizes after a few months or few weeks or maybe after 1 or 2 years that I should not have bought this company because of so and so reason, still it is very difficult to sell it, especially if it is in loss. Because then you keep on hoping, what if this price goes up, or let me hope that this price goes up. The moment it goes up a little bit, let's say more than this, then I'll sell for sure. Because you are just not willing to accept that you made a mistake, and you're not willing to book that loss. But I can tell you that loss booking is an art, because this loss booking this art I'm talking about, 99% people do not have that. And incidentally, 99% people do not build wealth in stock market. So whenever you have all these kinds of thoughts, which is, not allowing you to do what you should ideally do. You know what you should do, but you're not doing it. Just think about it. Is this what majority of people do? If so, then that's a trap. Because stock market investing is a minority game. It's not something which usually, you will not find majority people making money in the long run, be it any country. So you have to fall in that minority group, and for that it's all about temperament. And selling decision is actually all about temperament and more fundamental and temperament, rather than looking at the price and looking at the knowledge. Information is not enough. It's more about the temperament. I hope this short video will help you take a call when you should sell a stock and when you should not sell a stock in your portfolio. Tell me in the comments box, did it help you take any decision in your existing portfolio, or can you relate it to any decision which you took in the recent past which you should not have taken? Thank you so much.